5, 6 months ago, I'm telling him this, and I'm just now 23 years old telling my daddy this. You know what I'm saying? So like I was holding on to this for like a long, long, long time, and I'm like, Dad.
Thank you very much for doing this. What's your name?
Lanette Walker.
All right, Lanette. So tell me a bit about like how you grew up and what's your backstory?
Okay. I'm from Houston, so that's where I grew up at. 23. I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. My parents had me at the age of 18, so they were kind of young. I had both of them in my life for a while until they got a divorce. It was kind of very young when they got a divorce. And I grew up with my mom. My dad always lived out of state, so he was in Iowa. That's where he went to college at. But at the time, it was just me, my sister, my mom, and my brother. So my mom worked 2 jobs, and I was kind of like the second mom in the house. So she'll tell me, "Hey, you need to do this. Make sure this is straight, this and that, while I go to work and stuff like that." There was times we didn't have a car, so we used to ride the bus and all that other type of stuff. So I was kind of like the mom as when she was leaving or not at the house. As time passed and things like that, I used to look at TV and stuff like that and just thought my life would be pictured as television. So, I have both my parents all the time. I grew up in a happy home. We'd sit at the dinner table, eat together, stuff like that. So as time went by, we see my dad occasionally. So it was like every summer that I would see him. And just growing up without him being around throughout the whole entire year, it kind of just like was just like I don't know, I kind of felt kind of empty a little bit and was looking for love, if you would say, just because this is what I pictured in my mind my life would be like. But my parents, like I said, they was young when they had me. And so my dad went off to college. He went off to go play football in Iowa. And when they got a divorce, it was kind of something that, took a toll on me. So, until when they got a divorce, I was probably around like, I can say 7. I was around 7 when they got a divorce. And my mom, she was just telling me, it wasn't meant to be. We were young, this and that. So that was just like a total deal breaker for me because, like I said, I was picturing this like, okay, this is how my life is going to be, and that's what I thought it was going to be, but that did not happen. So we go see my dad every summer. That's was something we did because, like I said, they was divorced. So every summer we would come to Iowa because that's where he went to play football at. So we would come to Iowa, just see him every summer. And so then, we just see him and stuff like that, and as I got older, I start to do things. So meaning like playing volleyball and doing track and doing all this other type of stuff where I thought he should have been there. So we steady doing these things, and I see other people, or I see other people with their mama and their dad, and I'm like, dang, I wish I had that. I'm seeing everybody else having both of their parents, and I appreciate my mom. I love my mom to death, but then it was like something that I always pictured in my mind, like, all right, so I'm gonna, I pictured, hey, this is what my life should be like, but that wasn't reality. So, um, and then as I got older and older and older again, I would be angry like towards my siblings. So I was mad because of the simple fact that my dad and my mom was not together. And so then I would take my anger out on them and on everybody else, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we grew up in a Christian home. We went to church and stuff like that. But it was like more so that we just went to church because that was what we was told to do. It was more so I didn't really have like a relationship with him myself. I didn't really know him for myself. So I'm just going to church. I mean, mama say, let's go, we're going to Bible study. We're going to go do this. So that's what I did. And that's just exactly what I did. So I just went to church, went to church, went to church. So at the same time, while I'm growing up in church, I'm still, angry and mad about what went on with my dad. But at the same time, I'm not really understanding like who God really is and actually having a relationship with him. I'm just going because my mom told me what to do. She told me to go to church, so that's what I'm gonna do. So um we we was told, this was too, like mom was like, okay, yeah, this is why we going to church, this and this and that. But I was never told why I should not do the things that I was doing, because I mean, like I said, my mama just told us to go to church. She didn't say, well, you need to save yourself for marriage because this and this and this, or you need to do this. So I never really had those like conversations with my mom,
Right.
because she never really told me that. So like I said, I was still mad at my dad with him leaving and him and my mom getting a divorce and stuff like that. So then I, not being told, you don't need to do this, or this will harm you if you was to do this, and the Bible says if you do this, then this will help you, and this will you won't have to go through these things. So me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to church, whoop de woo, stuff like that. So I'm me still being angry at my dad, me still doing all of these things and looking for love. I will look for it through God, meaning that like I text some dude or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, let's go hang out, this and stuff like that. I'd be like, all right, bet. So I'm going to go hang out or whatever. Next thing you know, one thing lead to another. We either having sex or something like that. And so then that's what I did, because I was searching. I felt like I was just looking for what I thought my dad should have been there, and what I thought when he should have been there when he was not there for. So I'm looking, steady going,
How
do after do after do.
how young were you?
Ooh, it started off when I was about like 15.
Okay.
15 is when kind of like that's when it really just started to like start out. Like I said, I was young when they got the divorce, but it didn't really start to like affect me and hit me until I got into when I was 15, because by that time, like I said, I was going to school, playing sports and doing all that stuff. So then that started to hit me even more. So um then um but before I even go further into that 15 range, it wasn't really just a sex thing. It was just more so trying to get attention. It was more so,
Yep.
I just want somebody to come for me. I just want this, I just want to feel that. It wasn't, really, I didn't get into the sex part until later on down the line. But till around, like I say, like 15 to like 17, that around that time, it was just more so people tell me, you want to come over, let's go chill, this and stuff. I'm just trying to get some type of affection from some type of dude, because I didn't get that through my dad because he wasn't there. So
Right.
15 to 17, around that time, I was just, just searching, just looking. I'm like, okay, well, my daddy wasn't there, so I'm gonna find through some dude. I'm gonna go talk to this dude. I'm gonna go talk to the next dude. I'm gonna go get some affection from him. This nigga, how to be sweet talking you and
Yep.
telling you, oh, you this, you that, you cute, this and that, and want to kiss all on you and all that. So I'm 15 through 17. I'm like, all right, I'm loving this little comfort, this affection I'm getting. You beautiful, So I'm like, okay, I didn't get that. So then that's what I would do to get that affection through dudes. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'm liking this. But deep down, I'm still mad, still not feeling the full comfort. I was just still angry, and just that was just temporary. So I'm, going through time as time went on, steady going through the same thing over and over and over again. And then when I was 17, this what happened when I was 17. When I was 17, um, me, my sister, my brother, we all at the house. And then my mom, when she was gone, so it's all just us three. So then somebody had came knocked on the door. It was like a whole bunch of boys or whatever. They came knocking on the door, and then my sister, she opened the door. And then she was like, she was talking to them, this and that, stuff like that. So then my sister was like, I haven't lost my virginity at this time. I did not lose my virginity at this time. I was still a virgin. So then my sister was like, oh, my sister said she'll suck y'all up if y'all come in the house and stuff like that. So they barge in the house. They barge in the house, uh pulled God, it was like four of them. Got me, took me upstairs, and then and it happened. So my sister, she banged on the door trying to tell him, let me in there, let me in there. And then my sister was like, it's three dudes in the room, and then my sister outside the door, and then the other dude, he's standing like, kind of like bodyguarding the door or whatnot. So it was I don't even want to, it was just, it was, I don't
Mo-
know, that it was like the most horrifying day of my life, because of the simple fact that my sister sometimes feel like, she blamed herself for saying that, but I don't blame her. I mean, she was just, just making a joke about it, but she opened the door and then they just like barged in the house. So then my stepdad just so happened to, I forgot what, I don't know why he came back to the house or what was the reason for him coming back to the house, but he came back to the house and he heard my sister screaming. So he run upstairs, talking about, get out of my house, this and that. My stepdad, he a security officer, so he had his gun and everything, just trying to, get them all out the house. So that happened. After that, they took me to the hospital, got me all checked up and stuff like that, make sure I was good and stuff like that. And so then,
Did you know those guys though?
huh?
Did you know those guys?
We knew them. We knew them. So we knew them, and then they was like, like people, we live in an apartment. We had lived in an apartment complex, so they, everybody in the apartment complex really kind of like know everybody. So we knew them. So my sister, she opened the door because we knew them, and
Mm,
then she made the joke about it, and so then they was like, oh, okay, like, and then that's when they just came
gotcha.
barged into the house. And so it wasn't like we didn't know them, but we did know them. And so that's why she opened the door, and she was joking about it because we knew them. So she didn't really think nothing of it, like, that was gonna really happen or they was gonna really try to do that. She was just, just playing around. But at that point too, I was like, that's another reason why I was like, wow. So then when that happened too, that's another thing that took another toll on me. So this is me mad because my dad wasn't around. I really didn't see him all the time. And then on top of that, what happened to me? So I'm still looking and still searching, trying to find love through dudes still. So then at that point, after that happened, I kind of just was like, well, so since this happened to me, whatever. So dudes would hit me up and then they was like, oh, you want to go chill? You want to go do this? I'm like, yeah, right. And then that's when I just used to have sex, like whatever, because at that point, I just didn't care anymore. I was still searching. The boys that came into the house and took advantage of me. And then so I was like, my self-esteem kind of just went like, it is what it is. All this stuff happened to me, so why not? So I'ma still just look for whatever and search for whatever. So that's what I did. And I was still searching and just searching and looking for love and affection through dudes. And then um growing up, being like the oldest sibling too, I just feel like that was another thing that was really tough for me because I always felt like my mama like had like better expectations for me because like I said, when she wasn't there, I was always there. And it was really, really stressful to me too because of the simple fact that I'm like, I can't even be a kid. I always gotta do this, I always gotta do that. And so then
Right.
I was mad because like, dang, I can't never live my own life. I can't never do this. I always gotta watch my siblings. I always gotta do this. So it was with me, it was just so much hurt. It was so much anger that I had. And it was just a lot of just stuff that was just built up within me because I'm like, okay, I gotta do this and I really don't want to do this. My daddy not here. I'm trying to find love through dudes. These boys that came to the house taking advantage of me. So my self-esteem, like whatever, So I'm just like, at this point, I don't even care about myself. I don't even care. I'm gonna just do whatever. Even though it wasn't helping at all. I feel like it made the situation worse. And so then I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do that. So then I'm finna one time, nobody was at the house. I don't think nobody knew about this. Nobody was at the house. I was at the house by myself. And after all this had happened, but even before this even had happened, but just growing up, I just was like always like, I don't even want to be on this earth no more. So
Mm.
I went downstairs and my stepdad, he take pills, prescribed pills or whatever. So I went downstairs and I was about to take the pills. I honestly, I was like, okay, I don't even want to be here no more. Forget it. So I'm finna overdose. I'm finna just overdose. Just do it.
What age was
But
this?
this, this was, ooh, this was what? This was before the dudes came into the house, before this age. So this is the after, like when my parents, they got a divorce and stuff like that. And me just, just searching and looking for love. Cause so when I used to talk to dudes, they'll talk to me, they'll text me, I'll come over to their house, and then next thing you know, they don't hit me up no more. So
Right.
then I was just thinking like, am I ugly? Why they, why they don't want to talk to me no more? Why they not hitting me up? So, and they just use it, basically, just using me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I ain't pretty enough. Maybe I ain't cute. And social media would take a toll on you. And me, it took a toll on me because I would look at social media and be like, oh, I don't look like her, or I want to have this body, or I want to have this, and stuff like that. So when I didn't look like that, that's what I would think in my mind. Like, okay, I mean, I don't look like them, so that's probably why they don't fool with me. Or I don't dress like that, so that's probably why they don't fool with me like that. So then when I talk to people or talk to dudes, it was like, all right, okay. Well, I guess they don't really fool me like that. So I guess I ain't cute. I guess I ain't pretty. So then at that time too, I'm like, I don't really want to be here no more because every time I try to talk to people, they always, don't talk to me back or ignore me and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why everybody ignoring me? Like, why nobody ain't talking to me? So
Mhm.
then I was at the house by myself around like 16. And I went downstairs about to take the pills and I just couldn't. And I'm like, I was really, I really was like, I'm finna take this. I'm about to overdose. I don't want to be on this earth no more. I'm finna just do it. So I'm finna take it. And I couldn't. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So then another thing, since I couldn't take it, I just used to run the music. And Billie Eilish was somebody that I just ran to. I don't know if you know Billie
Yeah, I know
Eilish.
to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So Billie Eilish, she anytime I was in there like that depressing or like just like I don't want to be here type, that's the person I used to just listen to because music was something that I always, always, always ran to if I'm feeling some type of way. And I felt back then I ain't really know how that would make an effect on me, but I'm just like I'm depressed, so I'm listening to depressing music. When I was sad, I would listen to sad music. When I was happy, I used to listen to so it was just like when I tried to take it, I couldn't. So I just went upstairs and just started listening to Billie Eilish.
Mm.
And so then one time I one time um how can I say this? I was on social media and I was looking. Social media was always my thing. I was looking and I'm like, I'm seeing people, girls dating girls, boys dating boys, it's cool, it's whatever, what it is what it is. So I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm seeing it, in Houston, it's just a thing. So that's what I'm seeing. So I go to school. I'm 17. I'm at school and I was on playing basketball and most like all the people on the basketball team, they all had girlfriends. So this one girl was like, oh, you should try girls out, this and that, stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't really know, But like I said, I grew up in a Christian home, but no one ever told me the things that I shouldn't and should not do and why it would affect me and what effect it would have on me if I was to do these things and why God says we should not do these things. So
Mhm.
me, social media was my thing. That's how I just found social media. So I looked and when I joined the basketball team, this girl's telling me, let's just do it, let's hang out and stuff like that. So I'm thinking she trying to hang out, we just friends, But come to find out, like the more I hung out with her, the more feelings like I had. So we just hang out, hang out, feelings, feelings, feelings. Okay. So then like probably like what we was talking, we started to talk and we started to call each other bae and stuff like that. And like on a little talking stage. And then like a little bit after that, she was like, you wanna be my girlfriend? So I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Let's do it. All right. So we started dating. We dating, whatnot. So fast forward a little bit of time while we dating, and this, you know, uh was like before I even knew about all this other stuff. So we was like, she was like, she a Gemini and all this other type of stuff, and I was Sagittarius. So we was just talking about who we are and what we like and all this other type of stuff. So we used to play the best friend role, meaning, like she'll come, I'll go over her house and her mom and she'd be like, oh mama, this is just my best friend. So we hiding it basically, like, we just best friends, stuff like that. And she was like, she used to come over to my house and I'd be like, oh mama, this is just my best friend. But really, she really my girlfriend. She really asked me out, but we just playing the best friend, best friend. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, we did that. So then fast forward a little bit, me and my stepdad, we had got into it. I forgot what happened. What was it about? I think I was being disrespectful, and so we had got into it. He the only one working in the house. So my mama, she not working. She stayed at the house. So he the only one working. So we getting going back and forth, going back and forth, back and forth. So then he tells me I need to get out the house. So then I was like, what? He said, you need to get out, because I was being disrespectful and he didn't like how I was talking. So I was like, okay. So then I looked at my mama. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you need to get out. So I was like, whoa. Like at that point, I was just like, oh, she picked. I feel like she picked him over me. Like he can leave any other day, and then she just told me to get out. I'm forever be your daughter. So she told me to get out. I was mad at my mama for a long time for that, and I'm gonna go further into that. But I was mad at her because I'm like, you picked him over me, and he can just leave any day, and I'm gonna always be your daughter. Like anytime. I was like, mama, he literally told you to pick me out and you said get out. And she was like, well, I didn't really have a choice. I was stuck in the middle. I'm gonna fast forward to that time when we talked about that. But so then my daddy wasn't there.
Mhm.
And then I started looking for love. And then at the age of 17, boys barged into the house and took advantage of me. And then I had a girlfriend at the age of 17 too, after that happened. So from the age of 17 to 21, I had a girlfriend. So we was dating for a long, a long period of time. But
Yes.
you say, wait?
4 years, yeah.
Yeah. So in that time, I was still, but in that time, I wasn't calling myself gay because I like girls and boys. So I was like exploring my options, and either one will work. It really don't matter. That's what I was doing. But she had never ever dated a boy ever in her life. So that's so she was just like, let's just you would like it or this and that, trying to convince me and persuade me, it's cool, I mean, why not, so I was like, okay. But so during this time while I'm still dating her, I got kicked out the house. So then I got kicked out. My mama told me to get out, and I went to go live with my granny and my papa. So I went to go move with them. And my girlfriend, she used to come over to the house, and I used to tell them, like I told everybody else, oh, she just my best friend, or whatnot. And so then one day she came over to the house, and they called us kissing. My grandparents called us kissing, and it was like shocked, like, and I was like, ooh, like I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't really know what to say because I mean we got caught. We just it was just plain as day we had got caught. And so then my mom, she was like I said, she was really I grew up in a Christian home. She was very, 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 very disappointed because of the fact that I had a girlfriend. She was just like why? Like why you got a girlfriend? Why and stuff like that. So after that, they found out that I had a girlfriend or whatnot. Me and her decided to get a place together. So we was like, you know, after I had finished high school and she finished high school and stuff like that, we decided to get a place together. So we ended up getting a place together, ended up going to go live together. And then these people that I graduated high school with, we ended up just like rooming with them. So it was like four of us, the girl and her boyfriend, and me and my girlfriend. So we, did that or whatnot. So we ended up getting a place together. Me and my mama, we didn't talk for a minute because of the fact that I had a girlfriend. So she was like, she was disappointed. Like, you had a girlfriend, this and that, stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. So that's what it was. And so we living together and stuff like that and whatnot. And so then she was the one that really introduced me into a whole bunch of things that I really was not really like aware. I was aware of, but I wasn't really interested in. So like I never really had a threesome, but she was like, you want to have a threesome or have you ever done it before? And I was like, no, I don't really, So she introduced me into a lot of things, and porn was another thing too. It was like, have you ever seen this? You watch this? I'm like, no, I really didn't. But then when she introduced me to it, I'm like, okay, cool. It is what it is. So we looking at porn, and then we didn't have a threesome. We didn't do that because I was like, I don't really know, I don't really know about the whole threesome thing. So I was like, I don't want to do that. So she was like, okay. So I'm living with her, stuff like that. And then one time she was a smoker, so she used to smoke weed. She smoked weed and stuff like that. And I was the only one in the house who never did. So we in the house or whatever, they chilling and stuff like that. And then she was like, "You want to try?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to try it. I don't, like, come on, let's try it." She was like, "No, I don't want to. Like, just do it." So I'm like, "All right." So I tried it. And then I started to start shaking and start just like a whole bunch of stuff started happening to me. And I'm like, and it was just like, I was like, feel like I was having a seizure, to be honest. Cause it was just like, I was like, what, like, I didn't know what was going on and what was happening. I was just, it was ridiculous. And I was like, I don't remember exactly like details of detail what happened or how they got me out of it, but I tried it and it was just like a whole different ballgame. I don't know what they put in that or what happened. So I was really exposed to a lot of things from her. So like she with porn, everything was really exposed from her. And I just felt like, I was just going with it because everybody else was going with it and I didn't really know no better. So
How did you get out of that situation?
the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So fast forward, we had arguments. We used to argue all the time, all the time. There was a time where she bought me something and I had sent her a video and I was like, I don't want the stuff. We going back and forth on and off. Our relationship was like always on and off. So we going back and forth. So then she had bought me a whole bunch of cute little stuff or whatever. So I set it on fire and I sent her a video. So then it was like a whole bunch of different stuff we used to do to each other that was not healthy. So as time went by, I went to college in Houston at Lone Star for like a year. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I hit up my dad. I'm like, hey, I want to go to culinary art school. And he was like, oh, okay. So then he told me about the program here in Des Moines, in Iowa. So I was like, all right. So then I came down here. This time, while I'm down here, I'm still with her. But now we long distance. So she like, we steady arguing, going back and forth. And I'm like, man, I don't have time for this. That's all we do 24/7 is argue. So, I'm just finna just be done. She's like, all right. So that's how that whole situation ended. When I came to Iowa, I was like, I'm done because I can't, we always fighting, we always arguing, always something, So then that's what it was. And so that's how I really ended because we was always going back and forth about something, always. It was just a whole bunch of just shenanigans that was going on. So I was just tired of it. So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna cut it all off. Just cut it off. That was it.
So
So then I was like, whoa. So now I'm in Iowa and I'm at Campus Town. Campus Town was the place I was at. It was a dorm spot or whatnot. So I'm there and I got like three other roommates, it's two girls to a room and stuff like that. Still, at the time, I'm still looking for love. I ain't talked to my daddy about how I felt, anything like that. So I'm still, hey, you wanna come? You wanna come? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come through. Or he gonna say he gonna come through. I'm like, all right, bet, come through. So then I always let my roommate know, like, I've got somebody coming over. She's like, all right, bet, stuff like that. So then she'll either go somewhere else or let me know when she about to leave the house for them to come. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we chilling. Again, one thing led to another. We kissed, we this, stuff like that.
mhm.
So then I go to the doctor and they was like, I'm like, ma'am, I don't know what's going on. I'm having some girl issues. I don't know, what's happening and stuff like that. And so I get my checkup and stuff like that. And they was like, oh, you got chlamydia. So I was like, dang, all right. So took the medicine, stuff like that. Again, I'm still looking for the love, still searching, stuff like that. Dudes hit me up, So I'm still doing it because I ain't really resolved the issue. So I'm steady going out, going to go party all the time, drinking all the time, just to ease the pain, to make everything go away. So one time this dude and I was never like, oh, are you I always used to take the dude's word. They'd be like, oh yeah, I'm clean, I'm good. So I'm like, all right, bet, I'm just out here just looking for love, trying to find love. I ain't get that. So and I'm gonna just take your word for it. It is what it is. So I did it again, when I with somebody, I always go out, but I went to this boy. I actually went to his house myself. Went to his house, and he was like, you smoke?" I was like, "Nah, I don't smoke," stuff like that. He was like, "Cool, cool." So then we started talking and stuff like that, and laying in the bed, chilling and whatnot. And he started kissing on me. One thing led to another. So this happened again. So I'm going back to the doctor. This is my second time. I'm
Mhm.
going back to the doctor. They like, I'm like, ma'am, I'm having some issues again. I don't know what's going on, this and that. So then she was like, you got chlamydia. I'm like, again, like, this my second time with it. You would think I would think, I don't know, but like I said, I'm just searching, I'm lost. So I don't know. Just, I'm just doing whatever. It was like, you got chlamydia. So I was like, dang, it's my second time. And you would think I get it. But nah, I ain't get it. So I was like, all right, whatever. So then again, me just being me, looking for love, looking for some affection from some type of dude. So I was like, okay. So I'm texting dudes, we texting, and next thing you know, they stop texting me, or something happened, or they like, my bad, this and that. I'm like, all right. So let me tell you, this is so recent. All right. This is recent. So I go where I went. I went to Baltimore, right? I went to Baltimore for some dude. Okay. I'm going, this boy like, oh, come see me, this and that. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go see him. Boom. I hit him up. I ain't get nothing. So I'm like, dang, I went all the way out here looking for love. He talking about, oh, we gonna have this, we gonna do this, all the stuff I want to hear. Oh, we gonna do this, we gonna have this. I'm like, all right, bet. All right. So I went all the way to Baltimore, went all the way to Maryland, and he ain't even respond. He ain't say nothing. And I was like, dang, like, wow, okay, okay. So I went to Baltimore. I'm there by myself. Like I said, I don't know nobody. So I'm just, I'm chilling, going places, taking Ubers and Lyfts and all this other type of stuff. So then dude hit me up. When you like on Instagram and you put like the location, like where you at. So it said like, yeah, so it said like Baltimore, Maryland. So this dude hit me up. He was like, oh, you up in my city? I was like, yeah, yeah, I am. What's up? He talking about how old you is, this and stuff like that. I was like, I'm this and that. So then he was cool. He generally was cool. He was nice. He was all this other type of stuff. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, he good. We cool. We chilling. So he was like, you ever want to hang out? Like again, I have not talked to my dad. I'm still searching for love. I'm still angry for my mama. I'm doing, I'm still all this still holding on. I'm steady drinking, all this. So I'm like, all right, bet, why not? So then I texted my address or what the hotel was at. He was like, all right, bet. So I met him downstairs. I was like, all right. Met him downstairs. Then we went back upstairs to my room. He was like, oh, your place nice, this and stuff like that. I'm like, thank you, and stuff like that. So then he said, what you doing here by yourself? Stuff like that. I was like, I lied and was like, I just came by myself, just a trip, just to go by myself, type of deal, just lying. I know why I came out there, but he don't know that. So I'm telling him, I just like to travel and just take trips all by myself, like being by myself, just lying. And then he was like, oh, okay. And so then I was like, okay, he nice, he cool. He played football, he played in arena football, that other type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, he cool, we chilling. So then he came first night. First night he came, we didn't do nothing. We was just chilling, it was cool. So then he was like, how long you gonna be here? So I told him I'm gonna be here till like Monday, stuff like that. So then he came the second night. Second night came. So second night came, we chilling and still, and we went to go get something to eat and stuff like that. Came back to the room. And then one thing led to another. So he started kissing, we started kissing. I was like, okay, this is my second day meeting this dude. But yeah, I still had sex with him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, dang, like looking back, I'm like, dang, I really did that. So second day meeting him. So I'm like, all right. So fly back to Iowa. I'm coming back to Iowa. And then, we texting on the phone all day, every day. Texting. We on the phone all day, every day. And then he like, oh, you cute, I like you, this and stuff like that, all that. Like, all right, yeah, thank you. So, like I said, social media was my thing. So I'm scrolling through social media and I see this video talking about getting closer to God. You need to start getting closer to God. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait. So I was like, okay. So then I just got off. And then the next day, I seen another video. It was saying the same thing. I was like, why these videos keep popping up? Like, what's the purpose of these videos? Like, what? Like, why it keep popping up? So then I just hurry up and got off because I ain't want to hear all that. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do what I want to do. But yet, when I was still doing what I want to do, I was still like hitting the brick wall. So I
Mm.
seen it for the second day. So then I got back on again. This time, me and the dude, we steady talking every day. We still texting every day. We falling asleep on the phone, this and that, all this other type of stuff. So then after that, I went back to the doctor again. Went back to the doctor again. And then I said, ma'am, I'm going through some things again. I don't know, what's really going on. So she was like, all right, we go check you. I was like, all right, bet. So she checked me and whatnot. She was like, well, you don't have HIV or anything like that. You got BV. So I'm like, I had chlamydia twice and I had BV. Okay. So I was like, dang, really? So I'm like, oh, all right. So she told me they prescribed me to the medicine and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. So then I seen it after I came from the doctor and stuff like that. So the following day, like I said, social media was my thing. That was me. I was always just on social media, lurking, doing something. I seen the video again, and I'm like, God, like, is this like is this a sign? Like, do I need to, I need to get close to you? Is this a sign? So I was like, okay, that's it. That's it. I seen this 3 times. I'm on social media and I'm seeing these videos 3 times. Talking about get close to God. Don't wait till it's too late. So I'm like, all right, this is a sign. Okay. That's it. I seen it. I know I seen it. So it's time for me to get myself together.
Were
So
they different videos or were they?
yes, it was different people, but it was the same meaning. So it was like different videos. I'm like, now that ain't no coincidence when you seeing different people saying the same thing, but it all ties and means the same exact thing. So I'm like, come on, okay, this is a sign that I need to get myself together. But I still didn't. I still didn't. I still was just doing my thing. Um, I had some people that I used to work with. We used to go party all the time and stuff like that. And there was one time where me and a dude that I told you that I had met in Baltimore, and we had sex. He slowly stopped texting me. So I'm like, here we go again. I didn't had sex with him. Now here we go again. He slowly stopped texting me and stuff like that. It used to be, hey, good morning, beautiful, this, and that. Now it just don't even be nothing no more. Or now, it's just don't, no more on the phone conversations or anything like that. So it just slowly starts to just die down. He would be like, well, I play football. He do play ball. He play football, and he in Georgia now, so he do football when I so he's like, I play football, this and that, stuff like that. But he would always be on social media. So then I would just be like, well, you play football, but you always on social media posting stuff, but you can't text me back. You know what I'm saying? So I used to be like, dang, so here goes another one, just doing me like everybody else. So I was like, okay, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, whatever, stuff like that. John, let me rewind back. Hold on. Even before I came back to um back to Iowa, I was like, he was like, oh, take my jacket too, so you can always remember me and have it with you. And I was like, oh yeah, we gonna be together, stuff like that. Yeah, uh-huh. And I have his jacket. It's in my room right now, and I have his jacket. And he's like, yeah, take my jacket because I know we're gonna be together. It's meant to be. He was just telling me all types of stuff, and I was like, me searching, looking for love. I'm believing everything he tells me. Like, okay, yeah, yeah. So I took his jacket. He played football at UConn and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh yeah, this will be my future man. I'm gonna go back and see him. This and that. So like I said, now we're going back fat. Now we past that. I'm back here and stuff like that with the BV and all that. So we text, and then this texting and the calling and all that stuff slowly starts to die down. So then I began to think these thoughts again. Suicide, I'm not worthy, my self-esteem, all these things start to just come back in my head again. And then I just started crying. And I was just crying. I just really just started bust out crying. And I was like, God, like, I don't know why I'm feeling like this. I don't know what's going on. Like I was at rock bottom, like to the point where I was just like, I just started crying. I said, God help me. I was just like, I was done. I was tired of feeling like I was not worthy. I was tired of feeling alone. I was tired of feeling like all these different emotions and all these different anger. I was just so tired. And so then when that happened, after that happened, when he stopped texting me, I just got to a point where was like, God, I don't know what's going on. I'll just give it all to you. I just don't want to feel like this no more. I just want to give it all to you. And that's exactly what I did. And I was just like, that's it. I don't want it no more. And so then I I did this 7-day thing of not being on, not I didn't want to be on no social media. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna be on social media no more for a few days. And that's what I did. So then, like I said, we stopped texting slowly. It started going down, down, down. It'd be like maybe like every 2 or 3 or 4 hours before we start texting each other or whatnot. And so then as I was not on social media, I just got into my word, and then I just started praying. And I'm like, God, like whatever you have in my life or the people that you have in my life, they'll be in my life. If they are not supposed to be in my life, please remove them from my life. And he completely stopped texting me. Like we don't text at all. And I
Wow.
was like, wow. Wow. And so then this other dude came around, started texting me. I'm like, Lord, and I said it again. I don't, if they are not supposed to be in my life or they are distracting me to get close to you, I do not want it. And so he stopped texting me. So I'm like, okay. I had this conversation. I said, God, after I did this, while I was doing this no social media thing, like I said, I was getting to my word. I said, God, I don't want to have sex anymore. I want to wait. This is me and him. I don't want to have sex anymore. I just want to wait. Normally, every month I don't take the pills, but I take this little patch. So it's like a patch that you got to put on, and then on the 7th day you will take it off, and then you'll have your you do it for 3 weeks, and then on the 4th week you'll take it off, and then you'll have your cycle for that last week. So every week they're sending a new thing of patches to the house, which is my birth control. The patches is the birth control. So I'm like, God, I don't want it anymore. I just want to, save myself and stuff like that. And then I'm like, hold on, the packages ain't came. I was like, oh wait, what? Wait a minute. No package. I ain't called I did not call the people. This me I was just talking to the Lord and telling him I don't want to have sex anymore. I just want to. And I said, ain't no package came to this house yet, because the package, like I said, they come every single week because it has to be on time. Otherwise, it'll mess up. So I know when my cycle is coming, all these things is happening. So I'm like, I have to have it every week. And so I'm like, Lord, okay. So then the boy that I was texting stopped texting me after I told it, God, I don't want them in my life if they not go draw me close to you. And then I was praying and said, Lord, I want to save myself for marriage, and I don't, want to have sex anymore. And my birth control patches stopped coming to the house. So I was like, wait a minute, wait 1 minute now. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. But I was like, wow, that was amazing. That really like blew my mind, because like I said, I grew up going to church, but I didn't have a personal relationship with him myself.
Yeah.
And I was never like taught the things that I should and should not do. And so when that happened, I was like, what? Wait a minute. That really just like blew my mind. I was like, all right, God, I see you. And I was just talking. We talking like I'm talking to you. I just, Lord, I don't want to have sex no more. I just want to wait for marriage. All right. He said, all right, boom. No more patches to the house. Lord, if they not drawing me close to you, I don't want them in my life no more. All right, boom. He ain't text me ever since. So I was like, okay. So when that happened, I was still mad at my dad, still angry about everything. But I was like, okay, God, what I'm gonna do, stuff like that. So this is how I thought. I was like, God, I love you. Before even getting even closer to him, even though I asked him for those things and I said those things, it happened, but still I was still living the lifestyle I wanted to live, and I was still feeling all these still different emotions. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, I used to party, and I was like, God, I love you, but I still want to party. I still want to do what I want to do. I still want to do this. I still want to do that. I want to do all these things. I want to be like everybody else. And so then, like, social media was just, I'm on TikTok now. Now I'm on TikTok. And so I seen a video on TikTok, and the girl was just talking about the addictions and the thing that she struggled with, and how she just surrendered all to God, and she meant it. Cause like you can say something but and not mean it. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like she was just saying all this stuff and everything that I was like, I can relate to her. Like, I know that. Like, I've been through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this and that. And so then it was just like, wow. And so then that was another sign. And I was like, that time after I seen that, I really meant it. Like, I'm like, I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Like, I don't want none of no more anger, no more bitter, no more everything that is not pleasing to you. I don't want it no more. And I meant it from the bottom of my heart because at first I said it after I seen them videos. I said it and I said I don't want to do this. And I said take you out of my life, but I didn't really mean it. Like you can say something and your heart can, you know what I'm saying? Like you can say, yeah, Lord, do this, or Lord, I don't want, I'm surrendering to you, but you don't really mean it. And so then when I was on TikTok and she was talking about this, and I'm like, okay, I need to actually mean it from the bottom of my heart, and I actually have to want it for myself and want to be delivered for myself. And so then I did. That's what I did. I was like, God, I give it all to you. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I surrender everything to you. I start repenting from everything that I was doing, just everything. And I was just like, God, thank you. Because of the simple fact that, John, when I tell you like that I was like so lost, it was like so crazy because of the simple fact that I always had that, like I said, that picture in my head of how my life will be. And so then when I was search and I didn't find what I thought I was gonna find, I would just continue to search until I find it. I'm gonna continue looking. I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep looking, keep looking. And then I was like, but I'm still, it's still not feeling me. I'm still not being filled. Like, what, am I looking in the wrong places? Like, am I not looking in the right spots? Like, tell me what's going on because I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm searching, and still nothing. It was still nothing. And I was like, okay, I'm steady looking, I'm steady searching, and I can't find it. So I'm gonna just give it to him. And I gave it all to him and I meant it. And after really realizing that I really meant it and I really wanted it, it was really the best decision that I ever made in my life because I don't feel like I need a man to make me feel whole again. Like I don't feel like I need to be loved by someone who's going to probably, everybody's going to disappoint you and it's bound to happen, but I know God is love and I know he will never disappoint me. So now, John, I'm at to the point in my life or in the stage where I'm not about to go look and search for nothing. I don't need nobody to make me feel God filled in them. And it was these little bitty spots that nobody else can feel. These little bitty cracks that nobody else could feel. He filled those for me. And I'm like, I don't need to be looking for love because God is love. I don't need to be searching out here for anything because I know that he loves me. I know that I am beautiful just the way that I am. I don't have to look on social media to say, oh, I should look like them to make myself feel like I'm worthy. He said that I am loved. He said that I am forgiven. He said that I am redeemed. So I am those things that he said that I am. And I did not know that. And I was just searching and looking, and I was so angry. People used to tick me off and just say some of the dumbest stuff, and I would just get mad because I had so much anger in my heart. I was so mad about how I grew up that I had to be the mama when my mama wasn't around and my daddy wasn't there. I was so mad that I used to see stuff and see people with both of their parents, and I didn't have both of my parents. My dad, there was a time my dad coming home, like my dad, he was like a really like he a hard dude. When I say hard dude, like you can't tell him nothing or he will get mad. He is going to get mad at you. You cannot, you can be like, daddy, this, and this. No, I don't want to hear that. I'm right. You the child. I'm the adult. That's how it is. It's that. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell him nothing. So then he'll just be like, I'm an adult. You're wrong. You're the child, and so then that's how it is. End of discussion. You have no say so with him, and that's how it was. That's how it was been growing up, and that's how it is still now. So it's like then you come home and then you see your dad. He was like my daddy was like known for. He was big dog. That's the he was big dog. He was known for. So therefore, like he'll come home some nights, blood, bloody face, hands all blooded up, with the gun in the house, stuff like that. I saw that. That's what I saw. So I was like, there's some things that I wish that didn't really see with him because he was just like always so angry. He was mad all the time. And it's like every time he coming home late at night, he never at the house with us. This is before they, even get divorced. He never at the house with us all the time. And it's just like, dang, like daddy, when are you gonna actually be here? You here, but you're not really here. You out in the streets doing whatever and then coming home late at night and we're not seeing you and stuff like that. So now that I was now I can say that I have really, really been filled. God has really filled me up with all the love, so much love that nobody else, even my own parents can't even give me the love that God has gave me because they have disappointed me.
Mm.
And God has it. you know, they have disappointed me. And so like it's just like I'm not out here searching no more. I'm not out here thinking that I'm not worthy anymore. My self-esteem is low. I'm not out here doing any of those things anymore because I found God. God actually came to me in different many ways and showed me like, hey, I am here. I'm waiting for you, open arms. And I was just so tired of going out, getting drunk, going to party, coming back, it's wearing off, and then I'm back to the same feeling again. That ain't fun. That ain't fun. Like I'm thinking it's finna wear off. I'm finna drink it up. I'm still mad at my daddy, still mad at my mama, still angry, things that's happening, stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm finna drink it up. All right. Then it wear off. Then I'm back mad again. Cause I just thought that was my piece or that was my cup. So I'm like, okay, drinking it up. I'm drinking it up. I just got tired of hitting that brick wall. I got tired of feeling the same feeling over and over again. When you tired of feeling something over and over, you gonna want to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna want to just be like, I don't want it no more. And that's how I feel. I was like, I don't want this feeling no more. I don't want to feel like this no more. I don't want to be like this no more. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Everywhere I go, I'm angry. So everybody else around me angry too. So I'm just like I'm tired, I'm done, I don't want to feel like this no more, and I just gave it all to him. And now, so fast forward to now, I still do live with my dad. I live with my dad now, my mom in Houston. So I say this, maybe it was about but maybe like probably like 6 months ago, 5 months ago. What I'm telling you now is what I told my dad. So me and my dad, I always been praying about it, praying about it. So I went downstairs, talked to my dad, told him, I'm like, Dad, you weren't, you was there, you was a part-time dad, you wasn't there all the time. I only seen you in the summer. You miss my games, you miss my dance, you miss when I first had he missed when I first had my little crush, when I first shaved half of my eyebrow off with a razor, trying to shave my eye, when I first had my cycle, and I ain't getting no talk on how boys should treat a girl. So I was like, this 6 months ago, I'm telling him this. And I'm just now 23 years old telling my daddy this. You know what I'm saying? So like I was holding on to this for like a long, long, long time. And I'm like, Dad, you was there in the summertime, but you weren't there throughout the whole entire year. And that also messed up our relationship. Like I did not really talk to my dad like that. Like, I mean, you weren't there all the time, so why need to talk to you? I don't like talking to people on the phone. I want you physically there. You say you there, but you're not really there. And so I didn't really have a relationship like that with him either because it was like, I mean, I don't see you all the time, so why I gotta, really have a relationship with you? And so then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go down here and talk to my dad. and tell him. At first, I did not want to talk to him at all. And God, the Lord was like, in order for me to move past it, like I have to talk to him and be able to tell him because he might don't even know these things that I'm feeling. So God forgave me, so I have to forgive my dad as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I had to fully, in order to fully let it go, I needed to speak to the person that was hurting me. You know what I'm saying? So I sat down with him. Me and my sister sat down with him downstairs and talked to him. And I'm like, Dad, this is what happened. This is how it took a toll on me as a woman. And I was, and then it was also times too where like him and my stepmom and I have two sisters that's here too in Iowa, and him, they my sisters they in soccer and they in gymnastics and stuff like that. So then this before I even surrendered everything to God. When I see my dad attend the things that I thought he should have been there, and I'm sitting right here in front of them, seeing and witnessing him going to gymnastics and witnessing him going to their soccer games and dances and stuff like that. It's just like,
Deep.
I, huh?
That cut deep.
Yes, yes, because it's like, dang, I wish you was there, with me. I wish that I had that too. And then it's just like, and I get even more mad because it's like I'm sitting here witnessing the life that I wanted. I wanted that life. I wanted both of my parents in the household. I wanted my dad and my soccer game and not at soccer games and my games and stuff like that. And so then just to witness that just was like, mm, I just got even angry. I got sad. I got all and then when I did get like that, I just be like hit up somebody, be like, hey, you want to go drink? Hey, you want to go do that? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I ran to, drinking and music. So then I was like, hey, let's go do this. Let's go hang out because I used to witness that and see that, and I'm like, wow, wish that
What
was me.
happened? What happened with the conversation with him?
Oh, the conversation. So we go downstairs, we talk to him. I'm like, hey dad, um, I was very angry at you for a very long time. And I told him I was very angry at him for a very long time because he was always in Iowa. Like I just felt like you left us. And he was like, my dad played football. So he played football in Iowa and that's where he stayed at after that. And he was like, I didn't leave. I was just trying to do what was best for y'all. Okay. That's what he was saying. He was just trying to do what was best for us because him knowing that if he would have stayed into Houston, he would have got into more trouble and be caught up into stuff because Houston is a very, depending on what side of town you live at too, it's a very not a very positive place to live in because you seeing things all day throughout throughout the day, the things some kids should not like see and people shouldn't experience. So it's like, okay, I understand now. I understand because one, you was young, and two, you was just trying to do what was best. But at the same time, I was like, well, I get that, and I want to let you know how this affected me by seeing you only in the summertime. And so I told him, I said, I was out here looking. I was looking for love, Dad. I was out here searching for things, and it was just, it was just a lot that I was going through. And I told him that about me doing committee and everything and stuff like that too. So he was like, he didn't even know that, It was like, yeah, I thought about committing suicide. Sometimes I have suicidal thoughts. My low self esteem will go down, everything. And so then he was just like, wow, it was like, wow, I didn't even know that. And I was like, yeah, I know. And as I'm getting closer to God, I know God forgave me. So I have to forgive you too and have to tell you how that affected me and how we can move forward and better our relationship from here on out rather than looking, in the past. And so he told me that he had problems with his dad
Mm.
and his dad wasn't around. And the cause of his the cause of him smoking and stuff like that was because his dad wasn't around and growing up in Houston. And he witnessed things that he shouldn't have witnessed when he was young. And his mother, my grandmother, went to jail while he was in high school. So he was really kind of like on his own because his dad wasn't around.
Wow.
So um he had issues that he had dealt with his dad, and he was telling me that he just never talked to his dad, and so smoking was that's the way he just really, just really cope with it. And so, and I told him drinking was my way how I really cope with it because I let my pride and my anger get the best of me, and I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to talk to him, so I would just drink it away. And so I felt like this. It was like just a kind of just a generational thing that kind of just happened. And it was like, he's like, I never wanted, we never wanted y'all to feel like that. I always wanted to be there and stuff like that. But I was like, Dad, I get that. I understand. I truly do. But sometimes being there present rather than just sending money or just saying you do, you know what I'm saying, is way better than, saying that you there. I'd rather for somebody to physically be there than say, they just trying to help provide me and just send me money. I can care less about the money. I just wanted you there present. I wanted you there to be there. We having daddy daughter dances and we doing all these stuff at school. Like, I just wanted you to be there. And he was like, he was sorry. And if we can move past, and then he glad that I was able to talk to him, because when I did talk to him, it was just so much, all the anger, all the pain, all that stuff just really just, whoo, it's all went away. It's because I was just holding on to it. Like, I was literally just holding on to all of that he had did. And then I realized, like, my dad was 18, about to be 19. Like, him and my mom, they went to prom, and they conceived me while the prom night, you know what I'm saying? So, like, they were young, you know what I'm saying? And then I didn't think about that, but then I also thought, like, well, he went off to go do his thing. He went off to school. My mama stayed in Houston with me and my sister and my brother, and worked two jobs. So that wasn't fair to my mom. So that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, she down here in Houston working two jobs, and you out, playing football in college. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too that really like made me even more angry, because I'm like, my mama did not go to college. My mama did not go to college. My mama only went to high school because she stayed to take care. Her family. Mama really don't really have too much family anyway. So, like, it was just us four, and she just took care of us. She didn't go to Mama did not go to school at all. So it was just like, that's why I felt as if like he abandoned, because he went off to go do his college thing. My mom, she didn't get to go to school because she had to sit there and take care of us. So I told him, I said, Dad, yep, that's what happened to me. I was looking, going around just having sex, doing all types of stuff. And he was just like, so blind. His mom was just like, really? And I was like, yeah, like, really. And I was like, I'm over here mad at him. And like, he don't even know these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even know how it affected me. And I'm just taking everything out on him because, boy, I tell you, I did. I was so mad at him. I don't want him talking to me. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to be bothered with you, all the other type of stuff. But then I was like, okay, it is what it is. He got so caught up into the things in Houston that he did not get to go to the NFL because he didn't pass his test. He was going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what he was going to be drafted to. But since he was so caught up in the things that was going on in Houston, that he didn't go. So he had to remove himself from that environment in order to better for himself, for us, and for his future family, that if he was to ever get married again. And then that's what he did. So I was able to understand that as I got close to the God. I got to be able to be a very understanding person. When you get close to God, you got to understand different aspects and different areas of people too. And God forgave me, so I'm forgive him. And I was like, I forgive him, but I didn't really fully let go. You can say you forgive somebody, but don't fully let go or fully move from it. You steady bringing up the past, or you steady talking about it, but you ain't fully let go. When you fully let go and fully forgive somebody, that's in the past. You don't bring it up no more. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
Yeah, so you talk to your dad and y'all hash that out. Y'all got a good relationship today?
Yeah, it is. It's real good. It's really good too because the simple fact that I understand him more and he understand where I'm coming from, you know. So it's real better than it was before because it was just so much anger in that.
The story is got like everything in it. It got the ups, it got the downs, it got um how you came to know God. Yeah, he was definitely reaching out to you in different aspects of your life, and especially at that point of social media with those three different individuals talking about the same message. Yeah,
Yeah,
it reminds me of Jeremiah 29, chapter 29, verse 11.
my three.
What thoughts I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Yeah, man, God has a purpose for you, and with this uh, testimony that you shared, it's gonna definitely help those who are going through the same thing, that feel helpless, that has anger issues with their parents, and they feel like they're the only person that cares about themselves. Probably they don't even care about themselves, so they can see that God help bring you through that, and it can bring them through that as well.
Yes, most definitely. Because if you was to ask me back then, like, who are you? I'd be like, I'm just Lanette, you know? I don't know who I am. Because I use social media as a way to identify myself or want to identify myself rather than, you know, what the word actually say who I am and who I am as a woman. And I didn't know that. I just let the social media do that for me. So that's something that I kind of struggle with too. And moving after I talked to my dad, um, my mom, we went to Houston for Christmas and stuff like that. And then we came back. A few weeks after we came back from Houston, she was like, Ned, what's going on? I was like, what you mean? She's like, well, you seem like you don't really want to just fool with your stepdad. My stepdad, he um he's been around. He was around throughout the whole entire years, you know, when my dad wasn't there. So he's been there. But the thing that made me kind of separate from him was when he told me to get out. And so I didn't really I was like, well, why, you know, you took my you married my mom, so you married, you know, you don't just marry her, she has kids as well, so now you telling me to get out. So then after I came back from Houston, my mom a few weeks later, like I said, she was talking to me and she's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing, I'm good. She's like, well, I feel like sometimes you don't want to be bothered with your stepdad. I said, I have not talked to my mom about this. Okay. So I just talked to my dad. Now I didn't talk to my dad. Now it's time for my mama to talk to her. So I'm like, oh Lord, okay, all right. So she like, well, you know, you don't really feel like being bothered with him or stuff like that. I say, Mama, to be honest, I'm still holding on to the time that he put me out. You know, I'm like, she was like, well, I was in the middle of a situation and I just didn't know what to do. I said, but you, so that means you was in the middle of a situation, Mom, but you chose him over me. She started crying on the phone and was like, I never ever meant for that to happen. I never knew that you felt like that about me and him and stuff like that. I said, yeah, Ma, I have been for a very long, and I'm 23 now, and I just not talked to my mom about that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, Ma, I was holding on to that for a very long time, that you chose him over me. This man can up and leave. It's still gonna be us, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like you chose him. She's like, Well, I don't I don't really have, like I said, my mama didn't go to college. She didn't do anything. So she's like, I don't have a job, so he's the one bringing in the income. So, he's saying that. So, I just need to support what he says. And I was like, I get that, ma. But I just want to let you know how I feel and how that made me feel. She's like, she never want to do that ever again. And she really sorry that I felt like that and stuff like that. So I was like, it's okay, ma. I mean, it happens, but I forgive you and I'm moving on from that. But it was just like, right after I talked to my dad, 2 months later, now I got to talk to my mom. And I was like, oh my goodness. All right, Lord. Now that I've done those things, it's gone. It's in the past. Because I used to say it don't bother me, but yeah, I'm still bringing it up, or yeah, I'm still thinking about it. And those two things, my dad not being there and all that stuff, those were all those things. That's how I just started drinking. That's really why I started drinking, because of those things. So when I talked to her, that was another weight off me, because I was like, okay, ma, I know you didn't mean it. It's okay. We're gonna move past it. We're just gonna look at now and move forward. And I forgive you. We ain't gonna bring it up no more. We ain't gonna talk about it no more. And we just let it go. And that's what I did with her. And I'm 23 and I just told her that. And I'm 23 and I just told my dad that. So that really had a hold on me. It was just like just tugging. I'm tugging with both of that. My mama and my daddy. I'm tugging with both of that. So I'm gonna drink. I'm tugging with both of that. So I'm gonna go party. I'm tugging with both of that. So I'm gonna go do whatever. I'm tugging with both of that. So I'm gonna go just have sex. So that's what it was. It's a dark cloud just around me. That's what it was. And it was just had a hold on me. And that's exactly what the enemy wants too. And just have that hold, and want you just to feel so many different things that God is saying that you are not. And so then when I did that, I was like, thank you, Jesus. I gave him all the praise and the glory, because I couldn't have done it on my own. I honestly could not. Because if I tried, I'll probably go right back to it. I
Mm.
don't have the strength to do that on my own. I don't have the will to be able to do that on my own, because if I did, I would have did it a long time ago. But now I'm just not. I'm 23 and I'm just not telling both of my parents how I felt, and being able to fully let go of the things that they have done. So yeah, that was that was pretty interesting, pretty interesting life. But I wouldn't change it for the world, because it made me who I am now. And I've gotten closer to God than I've ever done before. I actually have a relationship with him, rather than just saying, God, I love you. I'm gonna still do what I want to do and just forgive me. But I actually understand him now, and I want to have a relationship with him and having a passion heart to want to know him more. And my life has been so good. I don't even care if I ever get married again. That's how you know what I'm saying? That's how and I ain't never even thought about, not saying that, but God, he loved me. He filled everything for me. So I don't even care if I ever get in a relationship anymore, because I am loved. Everything that I was feeling empty, and all those pieces that was, just missing, he filled that. So I honestly don't even, if it happens, praise God. If it don't happen, praise God again, because I'm to that point where, I don't even care. I ain't looking. I'm not empty. I'm full. He filled me up, and it's just flowing. So I just like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I don't have no more suicidal thoughts, no more even want to drink no more, And the music, music was a thing that I ran to, so I don't even have the desire to even want to listen to secular music or music that is not pleasing to him. But the enemy likes to tempt you, and oh, just go ahead, go ahead and do this, or it's all right, you can, he tries to come in and do all those things and tempt you. But I know that was so worth it, so worth it, because I know now that I am worthy, I am loved, and I am all these things that he said that I am. And I no longer have to be angry or feel like I'm not worthy or have any low self-esteem anymore, or don't need a man to validate me of who I am. All I need is God, because God is love. That's what he said in his word. He is love. So that's all I need is him.
Yep.
So
Thank you very much for for sharing that. It's powerful, powerful,
Yeah,
powerful, powerful, and yeah, it's definitely gonna help someone who come across this video, and it's gonna show them that yeah, God is real. He
he is.
anyone who really is searching for him, they will find him, and that's the only way they can find peace and comfort over the struggles that they're going through.